Hey, welcome to Tractors, Horses, and More channel. Told you here a while back I was going to kind of upbeat my channel a little bit, do a little more things on here instead of just loading tractor pulls. Every time I load a tractor pull, work my butt off loading them all, editing all, and I get 5 or 6 likes. So apparently he ain't liking my videos, so I'm going to change my channel up a little bit. Hey, it is my YouTube channel, so I can do what I want. If you watch it, you can delete it, whatever you want to do. But just thought I'd change a little bit. Had the channel now for about 4 or 5 years now, and ain't got the subscribers I want, so we're going to change it up a little bit. So anyway, been a carpenter, been an electrician, appliance guy all my life. How I make my living, work for myself. I used to work for the state government job, and went all over the country and doing construction stuff, and just kind of decided to walk away from that. Had a chance to draw a little retirement about 10 years ago. So I started my own gig and been doing this ever since, and busy all the time. But anyway, I'm going to walk you around a little bit and show you kind of what I did to this project. Probably make 2 or 3 videos out of it because of it's going to be too long. I'm going to show you the whole process of this. So this is going to be video number 1 of the addition that I'm building. So take you around and show you what I did. Now, I'm not no expert. You know, there's a lot of so-called experts on YouTube. This is the way I learn it. I've got an associate's degree in construction, along with back in my bull riding days I went to community college, and but I learned all my stuff. And that old Jake Brake out there on the highway, man, he's getting it, ain't he? But anyway, I'm gonna walk you around and I'm gonna show you how I do stuff. Somebody said the other day, do you use plans? Do you use a plan? Yes, I do draw plans out at home on my drafting table to figure materials, stuff like that, to give you a bid. But I'm going to walk you around and we'll show you some stuff, and we'll probably do show you how I frame this. I should have filmed it when I was framing. I did 1 video on it, but I got to thinking, you know, I'm going to start making videos of my projects. So here we go. Okay, so the first project I did, which, you know, we got the concrete, you know, this is it's 14 foot wide by 23 foot, because we didn't want to get into this door, and I'll show you that here in a minute. But first thing I do is I'll build this treated trough. I called it trough. Okay, so I lay it all out. I got my rafters, you can see that, and I marked them here, or not my rafters, but my studs. So then I come along and I bolt it down with anchors, you know, and that's the first thing I stand up around this whole wall. When you work by yourself most of the time, my cousin helps me, Vernie, he helps me some, but hell, I can't find no help. We used to have some employees. You can't keep nobody. You know how the world is today. So I work mostly by myself. So I build this trough first. It's all treated material. It's a 2x6 here and a 2x6 here. Now, a lot of people use 2x4s along here. I use a 2x6. It gives you more meat to put your rack guard on the outside. When you set your rack guard down there, you got more to nail to, or more to screw to, when you put your tin on, for just a few more dollars. And this is all treated, because this is on the bottom. A lot of people will use a treated board here. I've seen will use this treated board, and then they come along here and they put a regular board here. Well, that's kind of like, sorry guys, but that's kind of like stupid, because the moisture of the building is on the underneath side, especially on the edge out here. But I use a treated board here, 2x6, and a 2x6 here, if you're building 2x6 walls. Now, if I was building a 2x4 wall, I would use a treated 2x4 and then a 2x6 here. So a treated 2x4 here and a treated 2x6 here if you was building 2x4 walls. So anyway, I've got this open right here because I got no way to get in, and there's going to be a window here. There's going to be a window here if I can get back. So I'm just walking in there using that for a doorway. So anyway, I use 2x6 walls, and they want to tin it. So we took and I went along here, and of course you pretty well know I set these in. I set these studs in, these 2x6. That's got a split in it, but it'd be all right. And then I went up and I built my trough up there, my double plate. So you're saying, well, how did I stand that up? So I screwed that in. I put this band around here. I leveled everything and I nailed it all up, and then I had this other band and I had everything leveled so it wasn't going anywhere. So then I put my top plates on. So anyway, had one rafter left over. I ordered the rafters from the Amish, and they're special built, and I'll show you that here in a minute. But I had 14 foot. Only needed 7 rafters. He made me 8. And there really ain't no place to do for it, but I've got a place for that. I'm gonna build me a pig shed out of that, half of it. But anyway, on the north side, there's no windows. Basically what I did, same thing, stand the studs up, put 2 bands, level everything, put it together, top band, so and so. All right, so on this side here, this is odd because I should have showed it earlier, but I've got the overhang to match the original house right here. So I built all that on the, I think it's like 12.5 inches or so. So it matches the house. It comes all the way out here. So anyway, on this side, now this house was odd. This house was odd. You can't hardly see it up here. But this house, it was longer from this point peak going this way down to this peak. So what'd I do? That's why I had the Amish build it. Here's the deal. Here's what you see here, all right? The difference in the house was 11 inches from right here. From right here was 11 inches the peak of the house on this side. Now this side here, down here, it was a standard rise from your wall right here. But there's 11-inch difference. Now why was that? I don't know. I didn't build this house. I just had to match it. So you can kind of see it up there what I had to do. Now, part of it was when I concreted it, we cut the concrete here because we didn't want too close to that door and still keep that porch coming out of there. The lady's in a wheelchair, she wants protection. This is a bedroom. This is going to be a handicap bedroom. That's why I'm building this. But anyway, the overhang here. So why'd I do that? Because I wanted the water to run over that porch. So that right there is about 24 inches. Well, 23.5 inches to be exact. So that's why I did that. Now this side here, I didn't put an overhang on it. Well, you stupid dummy, why didn't you put an overhang on it? Because she didn't want an overhang. So this is going to have the barn look. It's just going to have rake and corner down each side. So anyway, that's kind of what I did. But when you work by yourself, you just do what you got to do. Me and Bernie set the rafters the other day with the tractor. I got them good and straight. They're on 24-inch centers. So what did I do over here? I nailed everything in. That rafter there next to the house, it's good and solid. And right here, I put this board along here. I'll come along here Monday or so, and I'll cut all that siding loose, and it's all this siding's coming off. And I'll put sheetrock on that wall. That's kind of what I did there to hang my sheetrock. And got it all braced up real good. Don't want it to go anywhere. I ran 2 boards down the center here for the wind. We get a lot of wind, you know, in southeast Kansas. So I got it built hell for stoutness. So, and then all my studs, or all my nailers on the roof are 24 inches apart. The only thing I left to do is I put this together here because it was put there for the rafter, to nail the rafter. I've got to come along here and I got to put my board to nail my sheetrock to. But I'm out of boards, so I got to go get some boards and do that. So anyway, not a professional. I build a lot of stuff in my day and everything is square. We're going to order the tin this morning. I'll get the tin on. I usually tin the sidewalls and then tin the roof. But everything is good and square, so I'm going to do it backwards this time. We're going to tin the roof. First thing I got to do is I ordered metal for that soffit. I got to put that metal on that soffit before I cover the roof up because I can't get to it. So what I'll do, I'll put the metal on that roof, or that metal on that eave out there, get all that finished in, And then I got to finish this porch where I tore it apart, put the tin back on it, put the raking corner right there. But anyway, that's kind of my project. So if I got this tore out to come back and in, no, this is not going to be a doorway. There's going to be a window right here. And like I say, right now that's just my access to get in. So these windows over here are coming out. So what I'm going to do, she wants a 4-foot hole, 4 to 6 foot. She ain't decided yet. Of course, we got a week or so to figure that out. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to take all these windows out. I'll figure out the opening here, maybe these two. I don't know, maybe she'll want the whole thing. I don't know, but she wants to put a doorway in there. And of course I'll stud it up, everything, and finish all this wall is going to be sheetrock after I get the siding off. And then down here, these blocks, well, that floor, this concrete is supposed to be even with that floor. So I know it is, so I know exactly. We put a transit on it. So what I'll do, I'll cut out where my doorway is going to be. I'm going to have to put some kind of wood or something, a 1x tap on it or whatever to the bottom there to put my sheetrock to, and my trim. But I'll cut them blocks out with my concrete saw, and then I'll have to probably smooth that off and use some kind of concrete mortar, hydraulic concrete, to finish it out to make the walkway. So it's just kind of, sometimes you just got to figure out stuff as you go. I've did so many projects in my life like that, so it ain't no big deal to me. I don't lose no sleep. I'm pretty good at figuring stuff out. But anyway, let me sit down here and we'll finish telling the tale what my plan is on video number 1. I hope I explained that to you. But I work by myself most of the time, and you know, people say, well, how do you handle them boards? Well, what I usually do, I'll take, for example, over here in the corner, I'll take a nail a board out there on the end, set my board on it, and then I'll go across and then nail the other end there. But that's how I kind of hold my boards up there. But everything's square, everything's level. That's the most important thing when you build something. Make sure it's square, make sure it's level, because I have seen many projects from the, I'm not talking bad about the younger generation, but I've walked on many projects. I used to be an inspector at one time in life when I kind of worked for the state and government deal, and I'd go on a job and somebody tenant like a building or something, and it'd be seesawed, where you look down that tin and it'd be seesawed. I don't want my jobs looking that way, so I make damn sure, even if it, you know, takes you extra 30 minutes to correct something, you know, get that thing corrected, and you ain't got no problems. Everything just goes on there like a glove. Up here on top, this house has got a tin roof on it. So what am I going to do there? I'm just going to lap over. I'm going to lap over an extra 9.5 inches or 9.25 inches in ribs. I'm just going to go to the next rib. I'll put monkey tape down that. Anybody says, well, what's monkey tape? Monkey tape is like a tape that's real sticky that the water can't get in. So I'll lap that over the lap on the house. I got the same design of tin, and then I'll come across. So we're going to start up there at the top and come across. So it's going to take 5 sheets. Actually, it's going to take about 4 3/4 sheets time we're done, and we'll get all that roof up there, and that way if it starts raining, it's shaded in the morning. I hate working in hot direct sun, and it's shaded by these trees. Well, today's got overcast. There's supposed to be a storm brewing out west. Pete, my buddy Pete, called me a while ago. We're leaving to a tractor pull in the morning. He said, man, he said, are you working outside? And I said, yes, I am. And he said, man, there's a storm headed your way out of Independence. He's over there working, picking tires up. But anyway, it ain't doing nothing here, but boy, it's nice and cool, and the sun's starting to come out now a little bit, but it's noon or so. But anyway, I want to get the roof on. That way I got shade to work on, shade to work in, especially if it gets hot next week. And I ain't out here dying and sweating to death. So, all right, so I'm gonna make this first video. This is going to be called number 1 of the addition, and we'll be back with number 2 after I get more down, and maybe I can set the camera out in the yard next week, and me and old Vernie be putting tin on the roof. So thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't. I'd appreciate it. Like, if you don't like it, give me a thumbs down. It ain't gonna hurt my feelings. So but anyway, I'm just gonna start showing you a little more of my work. So have a good day.